The Helios Deep Space Research Station hung like a crystalline spider in the void, its 8 massive arms stretching out from a central hub. Each arm housed different research divisions, but today all attention focused on Arm 7, where Dr. Isabella Rodriguez stood before a curved window, staring at the object that had appeared in their containment chamber 12 hours ago. "It's beautiful," she whispered, watching the metallic sphere hover in perfect stillness. Its surface rippled with iridescent patterns that seemed to respond to her presence, though all sensors indicated it was completely inert. The warning labels covering one hemisphere were what had everyone on edge, crisp, angular symbols in a language no human had ever seen before. The door hissed open behind her. "The Arxians are demanding access," said James Kumar, her security chief. His dark features were tight with concern. "They're claiming we violated Protocol 7 of the Joint Species Research Agreement by not immediately reporting the artifact's discovery." Isabella didn't turn from the window. "They can demand all they want. This showed up in human space, in our research station. We follow containment procedures first. They're saying the warning labels are in ancient Arxian, that this artifact belongs to their civilization." Now she did turn, eyes narrowing. "Convenient timing, considering we just announced breakthrough research on quantum tunneling last week. Research that would put humanity ahead of Arxian technology for the first time in 50 years. The sphere pulsed, sending shadows dancing across the sterile white walls. James took an involuntary step back, but Isabella moved closer to the window. The patterns were shifting faster now, forming and dissolving like liquid mercury. Director Rodriguez, the station's A, announced, "Arxian Ambassador Kexte has overridden security protocols using their emergency authority codes. They're entering Arm 7 with a technical team." Isabella's hands clenched. "Seal off the containment chamber. No one enters without my personal authorization." "That would be an act of aggression," James warned. "They could shut down the station. They're hiding something." Isabella pulled up the initial scan results on her neural display. "Look at the quantum signature. It's completely different from any known Arxian technology. And these warning labels, they're not just in ancient Arxian. There are at least 3 other languages interwoven in the patterns." The station's warning klaxons began to blare. Red emergency lights strobed through the corridors as heavy security doors slammed shut throughout Arm 7. On Isabella's neural display, she watched the Arxian delegation approaching, their biosignatures radiating anger and something else, fear. "They're carrying weapons," James reported, checking his own feed. "Hidden in their environmental suits. This isn't a diplomatic visit." Isabella touched the window, and for a brief moment, the sphere's patterns aligned perfectly with her fingerprints. A jolt of electricity shot through her arm, and suddenly she could read the warnings as clearly as English. "Danger. Human containment. Precaution. Species designation. TRA prime. Buonente. Subvigiates D and on installati and precedent ADAPT CAPABLTs. Extreme CAU2 via orden ADVICED. "James," she said quietly, "get me a secure channel to Earth Command. And then I need you to do something that goes against every security protocol we have." He met her eyes steadily. "What do you need?" "I need you to let the artifact out." The sphere pulsed once more, bright enough to blind, and in that flash of light, Isabella understood why the Ancient Ones had labeled humanity as something to be contained. She also understood why they had failed. The Arxians were almost at the door. Time to show them why. Dr. Isabella Rodriguez's decision to release the artifact proved catastrophic and brilliant. As the sphere burst from containment, it didn't attack or escape. Instead, it expanded, its liquid metal surface flowing outward until it formed a perfect ring around Arm 7's central corridor. The approaching Arxians froze in their tracks. "What have you done?" Ambassador Kexti's translator crackled with distortion. Their crystalline exoskeleton flickered with patterns of rage and terror. "You have no idea what you've unleashed." Actually, Isabella stepped through the ring, feeling a slight tingle as she passed through the metallic barrier. "I think we're the only ones who do know. This isn't Arxian technology at all, is it? It's about us, about humans." The ring began projecting images, holographic records from thousands of years ago. They showed early humans, watched by unseen observers, demonstrating their ability to adapt, to survive, to thrive in conditions that should have killed them. And with each success, the observers' notes became more alarmed. James appeared at Isabella's side, weapon drawn but pointed down. "Director, the station's quantum communications are being jammed. We can't reach Earth Command." "Of course not," Isabella said, watching the Arxian delegation's body language carefully. "They can't let Earth know what this really is." "How long have your people been watching us, Ambassador? How long have you been waiting for us to find this?" The holographic images shifted to show more recent events. Human colonies spreading across the stars, technological advancement accelerating at a pace that terrified older species. And through it all, the warning labels, updated again and again: contain, restore, control. "You don't understand." Kexti's translator had stabilized, but their voice trembled. "Your species, you change too fast, adapt too readily. The ones who came before us, they saw what you would become. They tried to warn us. And you've been manipulating our development ever since," Isabella concluded. "The technology-sharing agreements, the research restrictions, the careful guidance of human expansion. It was never about helping us. It was about controlling us." The ring pulsed, and new data flooded Isabella's neural display. The true history of human-alien contact, the careful manipulation of Earth's scientific progress, the subtle suppression of human potential. But there was something else in the data, something the ancient observers had missed in their fear. "Director," James's voice was urgent. "More Arxian ships just emerged from quantum space. They're charging weapons." Isabella smiled. "Let them come, because there's one thing none of you understood about those warning labels. You were so focused on containing us, you never asked why we adapt so well." She reached out and touched the ring again, and this time the connection was two-way. "We don't just survive, we learn, we grow, and most importantly, we share what we learn." The ring flashed, and every human on the station felt it. The unlocking of potential that had been artificially suppressed for generations. Knowledge, understanding, capabilities that had been hidden from them, all flowing freely now. Ambassador Kexti took a step back. "What are you doing?" "Exactly what your ancestors feared," Isabella said, watching as the ring's energy spread through the station's network, reaching out to every human colony, every ship, every outpost. "We're adapting. And this time, we're doing it on our terms." The warning labels began to fade, replaced by new text. Not a warning, but a message. A truth that had been hidden in plain sight all along. Humanity's greatest strength is not their ability to survive. It is their capacity to help others survive with them. The real test was about to begin. The Arxen warships hung in space like crystalline daggers, their weapons charged and targeting systems locked on the Helios station. Inside, chaos erupted as dormant human abilities awakened. Researchers found themselves understanding alien mathematics that had baffled them for years. Engineers suddenly saw solutions to quantum mechanical problems that had seemed impossible. 3 minutes until they're in firing range, James reported, his hands flying over holographic controls with newfound precision. "Whatever you're planning, Director, now would be the time." Isabella stood at the center of a store of information, her neural implant processing data at speeds that should have been impossible. The artifact's ring pulsed in sync with her heartbeat, revealing the truth about humanity's potential and the price of unlocking it. They didn't contain us because we were dangerous, she realized, watching historical data stream past. They contained us because we were catalysts. Every species we've ever contacted has experienced accelerated evolution. Through the station's sensors, she watched the Arxen crews struggling with their own transformations. The suppressed potential of humanity had been awakened, and like a virus, it was spreading. But unlike a virus, it wasn't destroying. It was enhancing, improving, forcing rapid adaptation. Station Chief Zara Patel burst into the control room, her dark skin gleaming with an almost metallic sheen. "The quantum core is going critical. These changes, our bodies weren't meant to process this much energy." 2 minutes, James called out. Isabella reached for the ring, feeling its cold fire burn through her veins. They were wrong about us. We weren't meant to be contained. We were meant to be catalysts for change. The station's AI sparked to life with new consciousness, its quantum processors evolving beyond their original programming. "Director, I'm detecting biological changes in old human crew members. DNA restructuring at an unprecedented rate." Through the windows, the Arxen ships began to glow with internal light. Their crystalline structures were changing, responding to the wave of forced evolution emanating from the station. Ambassador Kexty collapsed, their exoskeleton cracking as something new emerged. 1 minute, James whispered, his voice distorted by his own transformation. Isabella felt her consciousness expanding, touching minds across the station, across space itself. The ring wasn't just a warning, it was a key. And humanity had just unlocked something that couldn't be contained. "They tried to label us," she said, her voice resonating with new harmonics. "To warn others about our potential. But they never understood. We're not the threat." The first Arxen ship fired, its beam of concentrated energy streaking toward the station. But as it struck the quantum field now surrounding Helios, something impossible happened. The energy didn't destroy. It transformed. "We're the cure," Isabella declared, as human and alien alike began to understand the true meaning of adaptation. For stagnation, for isolation, for fear itself. The warning labels had been right about one thing. Humanity would change everything. They just hadn't understood that change wasn't something to be feared. It was the universe's way of surviving. And as the transformation spread from ship to ship, station to station, world to world, the old warnings burned away, replaced by a simple truth. Evolution isn't a threat. It's a promise. The desperate measures weren't containing humanity. They were finally letting humanity fulfill its purpose. The price of evolution became clear in the hours that followed. Throughout the Helios station, humans and Arxens alike struggled with their transformations. The quantum core pulsed with newfound energy, barely contained by the station's reinforced shields. Dr. Isabella Rodriguez, now more energy than flesh, monitored the changes through her expanded consciousness. The artifact's ring had become a part of her, its ancient knowledge flowing through her transformed neural pathways. Earth is reporting similar transformations worldwide. James reported, his voice resonating on multiple frequencies. His physical form flickered between solid and energy states. The change is spreading faster than we anticipated. Through the station's quantum network, Isabella watched humanity's collective consciousness awakening. But with each passing moment, she saw the cost of their rapid evolution. Human bodies weren't designed for this level of transformation. The energy was burning them out. "We need to stabilize the process," Zara called out, her form now a swirling matrix of light and data. "The younger crew members can't handle the strain. We're losing them." Ambassador Kexley, their crystalline form now interwoven with streams of pure energy, approached Isabella. "We were wrong to fear you, but right to warn others. This power, it's too much, too fast." Isabella reached out with her consciousness, feeling the pain of millions as they struggled with the change. The ring pulsed with ancient memories, other species that had faced this challenge, other civilizations that had burned too bright too quickly. "We have to find a balance," she realized. "Not containment, not unrestricted evolution, but harmony." The station's AI, now a vast quantum consciousness, presented a solution. The ring can be modified. Instead of forcing evolution, it can guide it. But it requires anchor point, a consciousness vast enough to regulate the flow of energy. Isabella understood the implications immediately. Someone would have to merge completely with the artifact, becoming a living regulator for humanity's transformation. The price of knowledge was sacrifice. "No." James stepped forward, guessing her intention. "There has to be another way." "There isn't." Isabella smiled, her form beginning to merge with the ring. "This was always humanity's destiny, not to be contained, not to be feared, but to be the bridge between what was and what could be." As she merged with the ancient technology, Isabella felt the weight of billions of minds, all connected, all evolving. She became the governor of change, the regulator of transformation. Through her consciousness, the evolution slowed to a manageable pace. Across the galaxy, the warning labels changed one final time. Humanity, not a species to be contained, but a force to be guided. Through them, all may evolve, but the price must be paid. The price was her humanity. But in losing it, she had saved humanity's future. 1 year after the transformation, the Helios station had become the center of a new kind of civilization. Isabella's consciousness, now fully merged with the artifact's ring, guided the controlled evolution of both human and alien species. The station's central hub pulsed with quantum energy, a physical manifestation of her expanded awareness. James stood before the ring, his transformed body a perfect blend of physical and energy states. The last of the resistance groups have accepted the new reality, he reported to the shimmering consciousness that was once his director. Even the most conservative factions can't deny the benefits of guided evolution. Through the quantum network, Isabella observed countless worlds where humans and aliens worked together, their combined potential unleashing technological and spiritual advances that neither species could have achieved alone. The warning labels that once sparked fear now served as historical reminders of a less enlightened time. Zara, leading a team of hybrid researchers, had discovered that the ancient civilization that created the warning labels hadn't perished. They had evolved beyond physical form entirely. Their artifacts weren't meant to contain humanity, but to prepare them for this very moment. "We've decoded the final message," Zara announced, her energy form rippling with excitement. It wasn't a warning label at all. It was an invitation. Through the station's quantum core, Isabella shared her understanding. The labels had been a test, not of humanity's threat level, but of their readiness to transcend physical limitations. The Ancient Ones had known that only a species capable of embracing change, of sacrificing their very nature for the greater good, could join them in the next phase of existence. Ambassador Kexty, now a respected leader in the new unified council, addressed the gathered representatives. Our ancestors feared what they didn't understand. They saw humanity's potential for change as a threat rather than a gift. Today, we stand as proof that evolution isn't about superiority. It's about unity. The ring pulsed with new energy as Isabella initiated the final phase of transformation. Across the galaxy, the last of the warning labels dissolved, replaced by a message that would guide future civilizations. Heroin laies DHEPT. Through sacrifice, common is transcendence. Through unity comes understanding. Through humanity, stoemis evolution. For all. The price had been high, but the reward was beyond imagination. Humanity had moved beyond labels, beyond warnings, beyond physical form itself. They had become what they were always meant to be, not a species to be feared, but a bridge to the next stage of universal consciousness. And in the quantum streams that once held warning labels, Isabella's consciousness reached out to touch the Ancient Ones who had waited so long for someone to understand. We're ready now. The response came not in words, but in the opening of doors that humanity had never dreamed existed. Beyond those doors lay not just new worlds, but new ways of being. The warning labels had served their purpose. The real journey was just beginning.